I'd like to start by introducing Sam Yip. I'll introduce everyone. Sam connects people and organisation to Wesley Mission's important work in the community, and that work includes mental health, aged care programs, resilience services, school for seniors, and many education programs. Now, whenever Sam participates in these forums, and I think you've been at just about every single one, Sam, he seems to leave each forum with many more partnership offers and requests, and it shows his really deep connection to the region, and I thank you for that. Karina Jenkin spearheads the education initiatives at The Big Issue. There she focuses on providing participants with the resources necessary to make positive change in their lives. You may know The Big Issue already. Many of us do. It comes at you when you leave Parramatta Station every single morning if you're on this campus. But their partnership programs also seek to immerse university students in social justice experiences by supporting students to develop innovative ideas for sustainable social enterprises. Although they're not currently a partner that I know of this university, there are some really interesting opportunities there that Karina will speak about. Susan Goldie at the end here is a really influential community sector executive. She works to build sustainability with people, with programs and with organisations, and she forges partnerships across the not-for-profit and private sectors. She focuses on developing partnerships with multiple connections to community, emergency relief, employment, and lots of education programs for the purposes of positive impact. I've heard her talk many times about the multiple touch points that St Vincent de Paul has with Western Sydney University and with our graduates, and I really look forward to an exciting presentation and the activity that she has ready for us. So please join me in thanking Sam Yip when you're ready.
I just want to firstly thank Professor Simon Barry and his team for inviting me to share, the community issues that Wesley Mission is focusing on in the next couple of years, and to discuss, the impact that these issues will have on the future of work. Also want to showcase the existing partnership that Wesley Mission has with Western Sydney University and discuss opportunities that will arise in relation to curriculum development and also the future of work in the community and social justice space. Wesley Mission has been providing community services for over 200 years, and we currently have 2,000 staff and 4,000 volunteers who deliver over 130 different services which span a person's total life stage. Today I want to focus specifically on three key social justice and community areas that we believe will have the greatest impact on the future of work, and these areas are aged care, disability care, and also mental health. And we should also think about these three areas personally, because we can safely say that most of us will encounter these services in our life stage. So firstly, we're faced with an aging population where 1 in 7 people are aged 65 and over, and that's growing. And there's also longer life expectancy. And we've seen rapid growth in the number of clients that we as an organisation support. We've seen a growth in the waiting list that we have for our facilities and services. And we've also seen a growing demand in the types of services that people want in aged care. Our traditional facilities are at capacity, and we are now providing over 1,000 home care packages to allow people to age in place. The scope of aged care services has also changed as well, where basic care is just what's expected. What people want now is activities and programs that actually enhance the life of older Australians. For example, we've increased the number of allied health professionals in our organisation who specialise specifically in aged care. We've also increased the number of recreational activities and programs that we have. So our School for Seniors program it's like a little miniature university that we actually run within our aged care facilities, and also allow access for those who are on home care packages where they can learn a variety of skills. And we have 90 different programs within the School for Seniors. Secondly, as we've heard in the previous talks, the government has changed the way we care for people with a disability. Since the NDIS provides standardised prices on all aspects of disability care and support, providers like Wesley Mission and our partners have to deliver more for less. According to the recent study by UNSW Social Policy Research Centre, 2/3 of registered NDIS providers reported that current pricing levels don't allow them to meet industrial obligations, to retain recruit staff, to cover the cost of support workers travelling between clients. 1 in 3 registered providers of NDIS report that staff are not paid to attend regular team meetings, training or development. And these pressures are reported are from providers of all sizes, providers in metro and providers in rural and non-metro areas as well. And thirdly, the demand for mental health services is increasing. Mental health services no longer sit within a particular silo in an organisation. Around 10 years ago, Wesley Mission would only run mental health services in their 2 mental health hospitals. Now we see the demand for mental health services in all 130 different services. So we've transformed our hospitals from being a place where you get care for mental health to a place which is actually a hub where we send out professionals, we send out psychologists, we send out counsellors, we send out alcohol and drug rehab specialists into our 130 different services to support clients. When you put the 3 trends together, the ageing population, the pressure on how we deliver services in disability services, the increasing demand for mental health services, you combine it with less funding, really comes down to this. Community services organisations have to deliver more with less. And it has a great impact on the future of work and the future of the services that we will engage with. The pressure to do more for less is already seen in the over-casualisation of the community services workforce. Insecure work is a lived reality in the aged care, disability and mental health sectors. The number of people affected by insecure work has risen steadily since 1970. There's an argument that casual work is actually a stepping stone for better jobs and provides unskilled workers from low pay to a higher pay opportunity, and the evidence doesn't reflect this view. The evidence is very clear that casual work traps workers into low pay and precarious jobs. Secondly, the pressure to do more for less is also seen in the demand for multidisciplinary, flexible and adaptable workers. A person with a psychology degree and some work experience will lose their job compared to somebody with a psychology degree, vocational experience in a high demand area like mental health, alcohol and drugs, youth work, and also someone that has a high level of soft skills with an understanding of what customer service is, budgeting, sales, marketing, risk analysis. Community services organisations are looking for workers who can adapt to constant changes to policy and funding. I've been at Wesley Mission for 5 years and I've seen many restructures in our organisation simply because the government changed, simply because the minister changed, funding has been pulled. And I've observed that those who survive the restructures in organisations like Wesley Mission are those people who can adapt their skills to other parts of the community services spectrum. For example, the youth worker who is at risk of losing their job can jump from the employment services to our aged care team. I've seen a child protection worker who is at risk of losing their job see that their skill set in doing risk analysis and risk assessments in the community useful in our community development team and has been able to retain his job and retain his place in the Wesley family. These are just a few real examples of where workers who are multidisciplinary, flexible and adaptable are able to ride the storm. So how can Western Sydney University work together with community services organisations like us to create job-ready, job-resilient, multidisciplinary, flexible and adaptable graduates ready to be part of the fastest growing sector in the country? Well, we can do this through partnerships that allow students to have earlier and broader engagements with their industry. By the term earlier, I mean that students need to be connected to employers in their first year of study. We are to think about this as a long-term relationship with students. And I was even thinking, as I was driving here, we could even push that earlier from first year. What about opportunities where employers come alongside the university in pre-uni marketing, for example, at Careers Expos? And I'm happy to talk about that partnership later on, if you're interested. And broader. We're referring to curriculum experiences that are multidisciplinary, flexible, and build resilience. So I want to spend some time looking at some examples of current initiatives that Wesley Mission and WSU have that are focused on this earlier and broader engagement. The first example of earlier and broader is the current mental health workforce training program. So in May 2017, our two organisations entered into a partnership where students, alongside completing their psychology and social science degrees, will have the option of completing a certificate in mental health through Wesley Mission and receive placements within one of our 130 different services and our partner organisations. The practical experience and training will open up opportunities for graduates to be employed at Wesley Mission and other providers, and also help ensure that psychology students entering postgrad programs have the relevant hands-on experience. Through this partnership, we are truly creating job-ready graduates, competitive from graduates from other universities. Since the launch of this program, we've seen tremendous progress and interest. Currently, we have over 100 students currently enrolled in the program. 20 students have been placed for work experience within 5 Wesley Mission areas. And as you can see, we've also placed students in non-Wesley Mission facilities as well, because we've made it clear to the students that it's not all about Wesley Mission. Although I'm paid to say it's all about Wesley Mission, it truly isn't. Part of our mission as Wesley Mission is to come alongside students and advocate for the industry and build capacity in the industry. So sending them off to other places is perfectly fine. And keeping with the focus on the earlier engagement, 75% of those students, those 105 students, are actually in their first year of university. Both Wesley Mission and the School of Psychology and Social Sciences are committed to the partnership long term. We now have a physical presence at 3 campuses. We have a dedicated Wesley Mission coordinator on site, Rick, who I'm sure most of you have seen walking around the campus. The university can truly say they have a major community services employer on site. And it's also an example of co-delivery, because for the students, we are one. We deliver on site in your facilities, and we speak to the academic staff as well, and we know them by name. So it's a seamless program for the university students. The program also has co-credentialing, as it's been recognised as a university elective. It means that students who complete the certificate in mental health will gain 10 credit points to an elective, and it really bridges that gap between vocational education, work experience, and university studies. We're also looking at ways where we can replicate this in other schools beyond psychology and social sciences. For example, we have been speaking to the School of Arts to provide their students with the opportunity to undertake a Cert 4 of Leadership and Management and a Cert 4 Training and Assessment, which will allow students to enter adult education and gain casual work in training and assessment. We're also launching some lower end and quicker Certificate 3 programs in partnership with the Western Sydney University Careers team, who I can see are there, so Patricia Parrish and Jackie Simpson. Through this partnership, we'll be offering students the opportunity to undertake Cert 3 in individual support and community services, which will allow them to gain paid casual work at Wesley Mission. And yes, it is true, support worker jobs are not glamorous, but the growing trend we have seen is that the best senior managers that we have in our organisation and in other organisations actually have lower level frontline experience. What this means is you have senior managers, executives who have great empathy, credibility when leading their teams. We'll also be opening the Cert 3 individual support and community services to other non-health related disciplines as well. You might be asking, why are we doing that? Well, because organisations like Wesley Mission and other community services organisations don't just hire health and community services workers. We have people from IT, marketing, sales, management, development, project management, strategy in our organisation. And I was just thinking, the marketing graduate who comes out with a Certificate 3 in community services will have access to a greater pool of jobs than someone that didn't have that specialty. From our marketing's point of view, when I asked them and I floated this idea with them, they said, well, that student will already be part of our family and part of our industry. So these are just some examples of how students with early and broad engagement are most competitive in the job market and most competitive in organisations and also with career progression. The possibilities are endless when we are committed to partnerships that involve early and broad engagement. And we can really see this where Wesley Mission is coming to the table as experts in community services. We're leveraging the funding that we have with state training services to provide vocational education. And then we're working together with all levels of the university to do co-design, co-development, co-delivery, and co-credentialing. Now, in my role, I spend a lot of time doing partnerships, but I actually enjoy the most when I actually see these partnerships come to fruition in individuals. And I want to share to you the story of Natalie. Natalie lives in Western Sydney and she is a WSU student. She's studying psychology and social science. She took this path of study when we asked her. Why? Because she was inspired by the work of her mother, who was a carer for her grandmother who had dementia and Parkinson's disease. She has also encountered the negative impacts of alcohol and drug abuse within her community. Her life experience sparked a passion to do good, make a difference in lives of those who suffer from alcohol and drugs and mental health problems. And in April this year, Natalie came across Wesley Mission for the first time. Wesley Mission was invited to speak at one of her lectures about the work that we do in the community and to offer the new mental health workforce training program in partnership with the university that will allow her to gain the vocational qualification while studying at university, allow her to gain experience in an AOD centre and potentially get a job working for an organisation that is passionate about carers, passionate about mental health and passionate about rehabilitation in her community. She seized the opportunity, signed up for the mental health workforce training program and is now about to complete her Certificate 4 in mental health. She's now been placed for work experience within our financial literacy team, focused on delivering financial literacy to those in AOD rehab centres in Western Sydney. And as you can see in that picture there, that's Natalie with our AOD manager, Lynn Flynn, and they're going through some of the training material that we'll be handing out at several AOD centres in the Western Sydney region. It's only Natalie's second year of university, and through this program, she has been able to network with various people within Wesley Mission and our partners. She's been able to expand her experience with the exposure to AOD work, to financial literacy work, to mental health work. The picture there was actually taken in the office next door to mine. And earlier that morning, she actually arrived early and we had a bit of a meltdown in the office because there was an issue with a bit of compliance. And I was kind of a bit embarrassed when she came in and I was thinking, did she have to see that? And then I thought, yes, she did have to see that. She did have to see the meltdown because that's the reality of working in a community services organisation or any other workplace. And I'm sure that experience of hearing two people having a quarrel in the hallway is invaluable for her and her work experience. She and many others will experience that earlier and broader engagement with the industry that would enable her to be job ready, competitive when she graduates. So I look forward to speaking further with any of you after this on any new partnership ideas that might have come up in your mind throughout this talk. And ultimately, we're doing this to benefit the students who will then benefit the society that we're actually trying to build together. Thank you.